At a very young age, we are taught that growing up means gaining control over our time, our choices, and our destinies. Yet, as we transition from our youth to the complexities of adulthood, we discover that control is often more illusion than reality. We cling to outcomes, identities, and relationships, believing they guarantee happiness or security. But this attachment often creates stress and limits our growth. In a world that prizes certainty, learning to let go may be our greatest act of courage and liberation. Our need for control is deeply rooted in both societal messages and psychological wiring. We are conditioned to pursue specific milestones such as good grades, career success, and stable relationships, as we have been shaped to believe that these are the markers of our worth. Society reinforces the idea that achievement and possession equals security, so we cling to these external validations. Psychologically, our brain favors the familiar and the predictable, seeking to avoid discomfort or uncertainty. This dual conditioning shapes our habits, often keeping us tethered to outcomes, roles, and relationships that no longer serve us simply because letting go feels unsafe or unknown. Expectations act as invisible scripts, dictating how life should unfold. When reality diverges from these expectations, disappointment and anxiety creep in. The more tightly we hold to specific outcomes, be it a promotion, a partner's behavior, or the trajectory of our lives, the more we suffer when things don't go according to plan. This constant striving sets up a cycle of dissatisfaction, where contentment is always just out of reach. Instead of savoring what is, we chase what could be, fueling stress and undermining our peace of mind. Attachment is not always obvious. Sometimes it's the subtle tension in our bodies, the restless thoughts at night, or the quiet envy we feel when others succeed. Over time, these micro-stresses accumulate, eroding our sense of inner calm. We may not realize how much energy is spent maintaining control over our image, our possessions, or even our emotions. This hidden suffering often goes unnoticed until we pause and reflect, revealing how attachment quietly undermines both our well-being and our potential. True freedom is not measured by what we own or how much we control, but by our capacity to let go. When we shift focus from accumulating possessions or achievements to cultivating emotional and mental liberation, we open ourselves to new possibilities. This kind of freedom is an inside job. It's about releasing the need for things to be a certain way and finding peace in the present moment. By redefining success as inner ease rather than external validation, we reclaim our power and become less vulnerable to the shifting tides of circumstance. We often confuse who we are with what we do, what we have, or how others see us. Non-identification means recognizing that our worth is not tied to our roles or achievements. When we step back from rigid identities, we gain perspective, allowing ourselves to grow and adapt. This detachment doesn't mean apathy. Rather, it's a compassionate acknowledgement that we are more than any label or outcome. In this space, self-acceptance flourishes, and the pressure to constantly prove ourselves eases. The word should is a subtle tyrant, shaping our choices and limiting our imagination. When we let go of rigid expectations about how life ought to be, we become open to what life can offer. This shift creates room for spontaneity, creativity, and authentic connection. Instead of reacting from habit or fear, we begin to respond with curiosity and openness, discovering new paths and opportunities that were previously hidden by our attachments. Mindful observation is a practical tool for loosening the grip of attachment. By noticing our thoughts and emotions without immediately reacting, we create space between stimulus and response. Simple techniques such as pausing before replying to a challenging email or taking 3 deep breaths when frustration arises help us observe our patterns with compassion. Journaling can further illuminate habitual attachments, enabling us to reflect on where we're clinging and where we might choose to let go. Everything in life is in flux. This includes our circumstances, relationships, and even our sense of self. Embracing impermanence means accepting that change is not only inevitable, but also a source of growth. When we practice gratitude for the present moment and acknowledge that nothing lasts forever, we become more resilient in the face of loss or disappointment. This acceptance softens resistance, allowing us to flow with life rather than struggle against it. The difference between reacting and responding lies in awareness. Reacting is automatic, often driven by old habits or fears. Responding is intentional, guided by our values and goals. Techniques such as mindful breathing, body scans, or simply by counting to 5 before acting can help bridge the gap between impulse and choice. Over time, this practice builds emotional flexibility, empowering us to navigate challenges with grace rather than defensiveness. Letting go of the illusion of control is not an act of resignation, but a courageous step toward mental freedom. Through mindful observation, embracing impermanence, and moving from reaction to response, we can break free from limiting patterns and discover the possibility that lies beyond should.